you fight them until they're big enough to fight back.
And we're back.
And then you cripple them so they can't fight back.
With the crippler crossface?
Well, they won't fight back if you put that on them.
They won't. In fact, they'll probably end up hung.
Unless they're David Benoit. Oh, speaking of which, did you hear about that?
What? No.
Random side. He wants to go under his father, or he wants to go use his father's music, his gear, and go by Chris Benoit Jr.
That will not fly.
Mm-hmm. Anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna go over well anywhere. I don't think that anybody with the surname Benoit is gonna go over anywhere in wrestling.
All those poor French people.
I don't know, man. Like, you don't think they're like what's that show that's competing with their
No, I think it's too
There's some edgy fed that would do that.
yeah, but it'd
Yeah,
be one of
man,
those like CZW or something.
Yeah, but he'd be like the edgiest of characters. He'd be like
yeah,
the Crow on
Dusty
like
Rhodes Federation.
Yeah, the AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
well,
they're trying to compete. Like, I mean, that would give some quick like ratings boost.
I don't
with
think that's the
everyone
kind of
being
attention that they want, though.
No, man. Like anything that gets more people to tune in or to hear the name.
This sidetrack brought to you by Benoit.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing that bad right now, though. They're doing pretty well with ratings at the moment, but
Yeah,
anyway.
but I mean that's like a free boost.
All right, so as you arrive in Mukmak, you can see the gems, the luster in some of the homes is gone. The buildings are not quite the same as what they used to be. But the people still seem to be moving about as they normally do. There doesn't seem to be any diminished activity through the streets as you make your way through the town.
I mean, do they look like depressed, sluggish, or like...
Give me a sense motive. That didn't scroll. So they do look a little bit like more down, a little bit more somber.
Do you think you guys think that the creatures that were moving in from the mountains maybe got into their caves?
got into their caves.
Yeah, well, we had discovered that they had caves leading to like their storehouse or whatever, right? Or was that some out-of-game knowledge that I had heard in some other method? I thought we learned that.
That part I don't remember. I don't remember if in-game or out-of-game you got details about the where they were getting the gems from.
They mentioned a tunnel, I believe, and so we did get sort of in-game information because I forget what he like slipped. They mentioned a tunnel accidentally. They didn't mean to.
Right. I couldn't remember if that was to a specific player or to the party.
No. Okay. We were basically all in the room talking to them, and they basically accidentally slipped that they have a tunnel, and we kind of just inferred that that's probably how they traffic their gems. So we don't for sure know that's what they're using the tunnel for, but that seems to be kind of likely, right? So, yeah,
Or do we think maybe the army is requesting more money from them?
the military, we're the people in charge of this town. No one would have collected resources that wasn't us.
Based on what they've been doing behind our backs, though.
That's
I'm not 100% sure.
That's true. We'll find out soon, I guess.
As far as we know, we're the only people that come here, and well, on the books anyways, and get money from them. But
are you heading to see Muck straight away?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
ask him.
When you arrive, the two guards little goblin guards that stand out front seem hesitant at first to even interact with you. They almost like have spears like angled down a bit as if they're going to point them at you, but they seem like almost confused by what action they should take. And they pause for a moment and kind of look over at Spinks. How can you travel with these monsters?
monsters.
Yes. They seem fearful, Ra. They're people. They helped us get food and trade, and then another group was sent and said it was tax time again. We were getting you a gem. We gave them the gem. They said more.
Do you know anything about these people? Like who they might have been or what they look like?
There were 4 of them. They were dressed in these dark outfits. One in one was very tall, wearing a very blackened armor. Very, very black. Very black. Black like not even the nighttime.
No one in our...
Do you speak Goblin?
Dresses. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Carry on.
No one in our military dresses like that. How did they identify themselves? How do you know that they were from the military?
They say they are from the military. They say they were sent.
How do they prove it?
They look like military. Just dark.
Wearing armor doesn't make you military.
They had armor like ones you have. But dark one not have. Big dark one not have. But other ones have underneath covers.
They're pointing at the shirts that they gave us?
Yeah. Well, the shirts make it look like you're wearing leathers.
Okay, but they're pointing at
it. Yeah, but they're very military-style leathered. They're very military-styled leathers.
How long ago was this? Because we just came from where the gem's supposed to be delivered and there was no gem.
Yes! Only a couple days. We get first trade, and then they show up.
Well...
Look, I'm confused. You should know about them. Are you here for money? We don't have more to share. We need what we have for trade.
To collect the gem, but it appears you gave the gem to some rogue group, and we need more information. We need to speak to Muck immediately.
He thinks for a moment. Yes. Hold on. And he makes a... And a bunch of other, goblins carrying spears come over and kind of surround you, but then they guide you in.
What's going on?
Do they look like they're more sluggish or anything like the other guys?
No, they seem okay. Physically, they seem okay.
Are there, more gems in this part of town, or...?
There used to be. There are more gems here than there were in other parts, but
okay,
it has diminished. Somebody's probably, based on what they're saying, somebody probably went around and, started picking gems out of things.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if maybe, there was a connection between the way that they're carrying themselves and, the gems or anything like that.
So as you all step inside, Muck is sitting there, and you can see that, unlike normal, he's going through a couple of books, and he's looking. He picks up a couple of items from a small sort of table-ish thing, it's a pile of stones, but at the top there's a wider, flatter stone, and he's picking various objects up off of there, and he's comparing things, and he looks to you guys as you come in. And he, closes the book. He slams the book closed and drops it down on the table. What were you sending to us? We had a deal for 1 gem. You sent us the trade like we agreed. For 1 gem. Who were they?
We do not know.
He right now is speaking in common.
Okay.
We have collected your taxes, not me personally, but this unit, repeatedly for the last several months.
Yes.
I didn't find it suspicious at all that a different unit came in and started asking you for large amounts of resources.
They said they were sent by Stormlord.
If they were sent by the Stormlord and they took the emerald, they would have brought it immediately to Kazaram. This was a very big priority. There's no way that if they were traveling and bringing it to Kazaram that it wasn't be there. We just left from there.
But they had the official outfits and they had a letter.
Then where's
Can we
the
see
emerald?
this letter?
Yes. He reaches down and he'll hand over a letter to one of the goblins who will grab it and then bring it back to Meldronicus.
Alright, I pull it out and start looking at it.
As you read over the letter looks official. Give me a perception.
I'm gonna try to read it over his shoulder.
So, Mal, this doesn't look quite right. Something as you're kind of, like, looking over this letter just feels out of place. Or reads out of place.
Yeah, is it the way that it's written? Is the seal off? Like, I kind of, like, sort of...
Well, the seal's been broken because it's been unraveled, so it would have been sealed before they'd have handed it to him.
Right, but even that, I could still sort of...
Yeah, you kind of roll it back together and look and see.
look to see if the seal looks like, if it's of the same ink.
Give me a knowledge nobility.
Still can't.
Okay. I thought you had that, sorry. Doesn't somebody have knowledge nobility?
I mean, I do. I don't. Is he like asking the party to look at it, or is it just like, are we all able to do it?
I guess I have to because I literally can't know what I've seen apparently.
So yeah, you would recognize that this is not exactly. This is like a reasonable facsimile of the seal of the military, what they would put on, what they would seal official documents with, but it is off. Like the symbol, symbol is not correctly embossed upon here, as if somebody probably did very good work replicating it, but did not like fully check the details.
So I think Arvos would kind of make like a big show of this. Like he'd be like sniffing it, and then he'd like lick the seal a bit, and then he'd be like, a forgery. A high quality one at that. My time as a scribe lets me know the fine works of scroll work, parchment work. It's a forgery.
It appears you have been stolen from Muck, and you gave away one of the most valuable things that we needed as well. So, unfortunately...
But they were military! They had the outfits!
They probably killed someone and took them from them.
I'm sorry,
What the rest
Anyone
of them look like.
could kill any of us and take this outfit. If I died and someone took my outfit...
Right, but then you would kill them!
Maybe us, but there are plenty in our military that are just random conscripted people. They still wear our armor.
And there's a merchant that walks around selling military...
So at no point in choosing to give away an absurd fortune do you think to consult the actual camp?
We have no access to camp. We don't even know where camp is. You tell us where you came to us.
Hey, just out of curiosity, do they have something to do with these gems missing too? Around the town?
We had to get many gems. They asked for many gems. Said it was very important.
Okay, so they specifically asked for the...
we also had to use some of them for trades.
Okay.
Okay. We will try and solve this. Time is of the essence at the moment, because every day that they get a lead on us is going to be harder and harder to track them. We need to know everything that you remember about these people.
I can try.
Do you know if they left anything of personal belongings in the town?
No, nothing was left here.
Do you know what races they are?
What were their races? Give me their general...
The one in the armor I couldn't tell. His face was covered the whole time, but he was quite tall. Quite tall.
Okay.
The others smelled like human. Probably human. No pointy ears. Not short either. Regular like that one height, and he points to to you, Cassius, and to you, Zeke.
And they left. When was the last time that they were here? Did they only come once?
Was 2 days? 3 days?
I
believe 2 days.
Where you need to ask information the guards on the walls. We need to know what direction they were going. Do I have your permission to interrogate or at least ask your.
They are all here. Feel free to ask them now. And a number of the guard, he like speaks up. You will tell him whatever he needs to know. He says in Goblin.
You were on post the night these people, or the day these people left last.
Yes, you get like kind of a resounding echo of voices.
Are you acquainted well with directions? Can you talk with my navigator and show him in what direction on his map they might have gone?
Not on map. We don't have map. We've never seen map.
Is this
Alright.
all?
We point. Yeah, we could point, and they all like point with their spears.
Cassius,
What are
direction?
they pointing at?
They're like pointing in a general direction. Like
Oh, they're not like pointing at us with their
No,
spears or something, are they? Okay. Oh.
It was you who stole the gem.
What are they saying?
Yeah, is Cassius able to determine what direction they're pointing?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this thing went. This group went west.
West,
If
you
we're,
say?
Yes, they left out the west entrance.
If we're able to pick up any of their tracks, I can attempt to see if their tracks leave any sort of alignment behind, and if it is a strong enough alignment, I can track the alignment.
Did they happen to have any weapons on them? I'll ask. Like,
Oh
the
yes.
one
One had daggers. One had big black sword and big black plate.
that's the tall one.
Yes, big.
How long ago was this?
Like 2 days. Today night, so maybe 3.
What about the other two?
We no see weapons on either of them.
Huh.
Did they enter from the west also, or just leave the west?
No, they come from south. Make us think they like you.
And you said there was 4 of them?
Yes, 4.
Alright, Cassius and Ricotta. We will have to see if we can catch their trail. If they were traveling by... Were they traveling by wagon?
No, they were on foot. Only feet. They move slow too, very slow.
If they were on feet, then we could potentially catch them. It'll be... The trail isn't as strong. But that means that... With an aggressive day of travel, we might be able to catch them.
Hey, Steve. The people that I was partied with before, they were all human, right?
They were. But they were all dead.
Yes, but one of them did fight with daggers, and one of them was unarmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a third one.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
The Mummy Rob boys are back.
Yeah, I'll mention this to Mal. I don't remember. No, he didn't see it, but I told him about it. Plus, he read about it, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just let him know. I don't know if there's any connection or how or why, but it is eerily familiar. Don't know about the tall one, though.
Well, we will try and get to the bottom of it. We will try and get you your unduly collected taxes back to you. We will, of course, be taking the emerald that was promised if we are able to recover this.
Thank you.
And if it comes to it, do not, if it is not us, until we are officially stationed somewhere else, assume that it is probably just further scammers.
Well, we not feel comfortable saying no to them. They, big one, very big, very, very big. He's right. It's, we, as much as I hate to acknowledge this, we do not have a lot of skilled warriors here. Someone like them could have probably cleaned us out.
This is all in Goblin still? Or?
No, this moves into common now.
Okay.
Well, this is what you pay us for. We will make this right or die trying.
Thank you.
But
You said the tall one didn't talk at all?
Did not speak.
if we are not able to get a trail, perhaps Aravos, you can reach out to Recluse.
Heracles is his name, goddammit.
Heracles, and we may need him to scry to scry, if that makes sense.
That's why I asked for any of their personal belongings. I'm not sure he can have a good chance of scrying on them without any of their...
Well, perhaps we can find something on the trail, but...
Perhaps.
What if he knew exactly what they look like?
That would help. Do you have a likeness of them somehow?
He points over at Sphinx. You speak with the mother, do you not?
The spirit mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have had others here speak of visions of you. Does she really walk with you?
I don't know about physical walking, but she is with me.
Then she must have great power. She can see what I see. Right?
Muck, right?
This thing you can do.
Do I ever have that feeling about the spirit mother?
How so do you mean? Like that she walks with you?
Yeah, like
Not really that she walks with you, but like she is there. She is always close enough to you that you can like feel her presence.
okay. 'Cause I mean, I know that like I just kind of found out about this, and she's more aware of it, but I didn't know if it was like something that I would have an idea of what he's talking about. She can help us see them?
She takes thoughts from my mind and give to him, yes?
Oh, and give to who did he point at?
Other man over there, say he share with Heracles.
Oh,
Whoever Heracles be.
Yes, Cassius. Try to keep up. She's going to take his memory, she's going to give it to herself, then she's going to give the memory to me, then I'm going to give it to him, alright? Simple stuff.
oh, so you're gonna be the last one with the memory, and then you're gonna give it to. Seems trustworthy.
Yeah, completely fine.
Oh, that was sarcasm. I didn't know if you picked up on that.
I did not, but that's quite rude of you.
Okay.
I'm sure if she could give it to him, she could just give it to Arachnus anyway.
His name is Heracles.
Is there any way that you could share that information with Sphinx over here? Directly? Like, I'm gonna ask Muckmack, or Muck.
I have no ability of my own, but the Spirit Mother gives many powers. Did you get that from the Spirit Mother? Is this a blessing she has given you?
Did I get anything like that?
No, you actually chose not to. We had a discussion about it. And you almost did. Because, yeah, you have the one that does the other thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and check the bed real fast.
Oh,
Okay.
it's the
Okay.
other thing.
You have this, but that does the other thing. That does the inverse.
Sphinx would recognize those people that that I was with in the tomb, right?
Yes, if it does happen to be one of them.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, I
a
didn't. I mean,
couple of
like,
them.
I just didn't know if like she remembered that like I did or not.
If it does, then potentially this one, Sphinx. Actually, this would not help either, because this is you would need the actual scry spell. This is a specific location, not a specific person.
Look, I just need, what is it like? 1,800 more XP. Hand it to me right now and I could get you that scratch.
Got the high level goblins we can kill real quick.
There's one right in front of you.
Perfect.
A very
No thanks.
very heavy
And then
set
she can-
bugbear.
Then she could talk to him in his like spirit form, and everything will be just fine.
Knowledge of these random people that walked in.
It could be that we have to do this the old-fashioned way then, but I guess there's no point in leaving now. We should rest here for the night and leave very early in the morning.
And you said they were going west, right?
Yes.
No point in leaving now. I thought it was a rush to catch their trail.
Tracking at night is something I could potentially do if I knew how to track, but not so much for Cassius.
Ah, yeah, the whole.
We have
dark
means
thing.
of providing light, do we not?
Have you ever been in the wilderness? Do you think it is that simple? You shine light and you track?
I will admit I have not done such things, but... Well, if you think it best, I just thought we were supposed to make haste, so I guess we have no choice then.
The wilds are real
I mean,
dangerous
I can
at night.
ask you, Cassius, have you ever actually tracked at night before? Is it something you do?
As far I can track about as far as I can see, but my human eyes don't let me see that far in the darkness.
But would a simple, small light source be enough, or would you need more of a? Would you not be able to see everything that you need to see with such a short radius?
That's a good question.
Seeing things in the distance in the dark is very hard to do.
Yeah, but like, would I still be able to track in some capacity, or would it be like virtually impossible?
It'd be very slow going at night.
Yeah, I feel that I mean, it'd be just a death sentence to go out there at night.
Yeah.
Can I ask them to show me the exit they left out of, so I can at least try to find a starting point to track them from in the morning?
Absolutely. Give me a survival. It is actually crazy how easy this is, considering.
I was gonna say, the guy's wearing full plate and he's huge, right? He probably just leaves
I
giant
figured
there's
footprints.
4 of them, right? Unless
I figured he either left
hiding
giant
their track.
footprints or no footprints.
With a 24, you can... and it's very
24
soft
plus.
ground out here because it's specifically very muddy here, so they can continue to shape the things at times.
Oh, that's like at least a 25 or something because of the track. I don't know if that affects anything.
No, I mean, it's you are easily able to pick up like very specific humanoid prints.
I'll go ahead and if any of them are with me, I'll go ahead and point out to the other party members where this is at in a general. Like
you would, what's your average bonus? So you have a plus 11 by default.
That's with my.
I don't know if I'm able to assist on this sort of thing, but I also have.
You could actually
decent
assist.
Survivor. Okay, yeah, I have a decent survival. Should I roll one or?
Not at the moment. But what is your total bonus?
Mine is.
That is with like the
plus
wayfinding
10.
and stuff.
Yeah. So you're pretty sure that, like, even in the dark, you could probably do a pretty good job of following these people. It hasn't rained in days. It's these prints are very, very clear in the dirt and mud that's here.
I'll go
Should
ahead and
we
mention it, but
do some
I don't-
tracking of it tonight, and once the horses exhaust, we rest?
I don't know. I mean, it does seem like further west and further north that we go, that it seems to get more and more dangerous.
Yes, it is very true.
Yeah, that's fair.
However, one thing that I will point out that you would know based on your survival is that if something is some ways ahead of you, it's probably cleared a pretty reasonable path of problems that could be in the same direction.
That's fair. I'll make sure. I'll point that out as well.
Well, what time of day is it? Like, how much?
It is
realistically
already
have?
early evening. It's moving into...
We had pushed to get to town here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'd only have like 2 or 3 hours to really travel anyway.
There are no hours to... You would be traveling in the night. It is nighttime right now.
Well, I mean, like, we'd have to rest. So I'm saying, like, how tired are we essentially? Like, how much travel do we have left in us? Is what I'm asking.
You guys can push on in whatever way you want. The effects of being tired don't start wearing on you until the next day.
The least we need is 6 hours.
According to the rules.
I think we just sleep here the night and we leave very early in the morning.
Okay.
We just go
Sounds
to
good.
bed like very, very early tonight. That way we're tracking in the lights. This party does not appear to travel quickly. I would hope that we'd be able to catch them very quickly.
All right. So you guys can rest up.
How does scribing scrolls work? Do you have to do that in one sitting, or is it like, can I work on it slowly?
Scribing scrolls does need to be in one sitting. You do need a stretch of time in order to do it, and this is probably not a circumstance where you'll get much of an opportunity depending on what you want to scribe. What are you looking to scribe?
Well, Maldronic is a scroll, so that would take like 5.5 hours. So I have to sit there and do that for 5.5 hours, right?
That is doing scrolls is a very, very difficult process.
We actually can't even copy it at the moment because we don't have the spell level access for it.
Can I copy it without casting it?
No.
Not a scroll from a scroll. You need it in a book.
But by raw, you can only copy spells that you can actually cast.
Oh, okay.
So.
Welcome back.
Well, I mean, so we've got about probably the full 10 hours of night left, roughly.
Yeah, no, you're about 2 hours in. So if you guys sleep now, you can wake up by dawn.
Okay. And you could always wake up 2 hours early and.
Like I said, let's just go to bed now and wake up early in the morning.
Yep.
That's what I've said
I'm
like
already
10 times.
sleeping.
So if no one is against that, then that is what we are doing.
Sounds good.
Zeke sleeps standing up.
Actually, Zeke, before you get to sleep, let me see a will save real quick.
Ugh. Make it a good one.
Yeah, I'm raging real quick in response.
Uh-oh, somebody's touching my brain. Ugh.
Ooh, you gonna take that reroll, I'm assuming?
Why? I'm pretty sure that's a pass. Yeah, I'm gonna reroll.
Thaco.
Where did my will go?
Same place it was last time you clicked it. Alright. You are fine for the evening.
It's a little
Which
better.
reminds me, I'm now at 3 days.
Yep. It is looking very, very close to finished. You're pretty sure if you could just get like a solid amount of time to like finalize this, like the last few pieces require you to kind of stop and like try it on him and do like the necessary final fitting work. You'd be good to go. So you assume that probably by tomorrow night, if everything goes well, you'll have this finished up.
Okay.
And also, so you guys can set off to traveling.
Yeah.
And
Get as early as possible. So that would still leave us with 2 hours of dark, right?
No, because it would have been 8 hours. There were already 2 hours of darkness. Hold on. No, you'd have 2 hours of dark. Yeah.
You only need a minimum of 6, right?
If you're not a caster, if you're a spellcaster, you need a minimum of 8, unless you have like very high-end beds.
Unless you have pointy ears.
Or pointy ears still requires 8 hours of like meditation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Did we figure out where they are, or are we just following their trail?
It looks like the tracks are going to be easy to follow. So.
Oh yeah,
choices
I
to
found
follow
the trails very, very easily, and I pointed it out to anybody that decided to come
Yeah,
with
man.
me.
Thanks to that super heavy black armored dude, just imprinting like deep into the ground.
Yeah, it's like tracking a T-Rex.
Yeah, that's.
And
It's
then
either
we also will thank him for like moving it like 20 feet around or whatever.
got 15. Get it right. No, actually, he might have a high enough strength to where that won't even be a problem.
So do we not want to worry about trying to order a track?
Well, I mean, I
see the regular tracks.
I found the tracks, so I would have pointed them out. But that's either good or concerning. That means they're either clumsy enough to not try to cover their tracks, or that's concerning because they're not worried about things following them.
Or they're leaving false tracks.
Or that.
Hey, spellcasters, is there a way that they could be doing that? Because I'm concerned now.
I mean, that's something that could be replicated practically, I'm sure. Probably be pretty hard, but...
Okay. You guys are ready to travel?
Yep. We're on the road too.
I will just check and see if the tracks have an alignment strong enough to follow an aura if it...
I don't think so. I think it has to be fairly substantial for detection to identify. Yeah. And if you were seeing tracks that strong, you probably wouldn't want to follow them. If the aura of alignment were strong enough that after 3 days you could see it, You probably don't want to follow that aura at this level.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If we need to track down the Stormlord or something, maybe we can do that.
Give me another survival right about now.
Am I doing my assists?
Yes. That is not great.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
I
rolled
have-
a 5, I rolled a 2.
Hey, I
Good
get my
stuff.
+2 in the planes,
You do.
+3
and that
since I
is
have a traveling
he
map
technically
area.
got the assist. So.
and I'm tracking, and I have my survivalist bonus, right? I don't know about the survivalist bonus.
No, that is to avoid getting lost in the wild, travel in severe weather.
Would the track be? Would I be considered 5th level for the purposes of the track bonus?
No, because it just has a minimum of 1. Otherwise, it's round down.
Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't know because since I'm technically drained 2 levels, I didn't know if that would affect it because it'd be a +1
Yeah.
difference.
Well,
That's
actually,
the
here's the weird thing. So you're doing this travel, and you've been feeling a little off for a little while.
More so than before, or
No, as you have, but part of the way through the day, it all clears up. And something feels different about the plains as you're following these tracks. You get this very weird kind of wind that blows across you. And in it, you can smell change.
the literal winds of change.
Yes.
No coins.
No, I'm being pelted with coins.
But you are just barely able to follow the tracks.
All right, because that would be a total of 20 with the bonuses.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's do I feel that all of a sudden, or is it
It is all of a sudden. You're in the middle of following these tracks and going down the road, or riding along in the cart, and you get out to just double check to make sure you're still on the path of these tracks. And you get in real close, and you kind of lean down, and you're feeling one of the tracks, and there's there's been this kind of almost buzzing in your head the whole time. There's always this little bit of noise in your head that just won't go away, kind of like the echoes of eternity kind of rolling around in your head. Well, you touched eternity.
That is very true. I totally
yeah. And all of a sudden it turns off. That sound is gone. And you can see the tracks much more clearly.
How far away from the rest of the party am I?
You're probably not too far out. Normally to check these tracks, you would have stopped the cart real quick, gotten out, gone down, made sure you still could see the footprints.
I'm gonna kind of look over and see if anybody reacts to anything.
No.
Or if it just looks like I'm the only one who sensed that. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you can hop back in the cart and continue with this kind of weird feeling of what's changed.
Does it just feel like it hit me and then it's over with, or is it
I mean, the whole plains feel different now. They've so you've spent a lot of time moving from place to place, kind of grifting from town to town. And the plains have always had this certain kind of feel to them. It's hard to explain. You can't really put a name to something that but it's that going back to your hometown kind of feeling. But this time it's being in your hometown, and then all of a sudden you're looking around and you're I'm not at home in the same way I used to be. I'm still at home, but it's not quite home.
It just feels different, though. It doesn't look any different.
It just feels different.
Does anybody else feel that?
Just the breeze in the air.
Something feels different. Everything is clear, though, so I guess that's good. I'm gonna check my veins and see if they're still all rotted. And well, actually, those started to get better.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of check I can do to like discern like what's changed about it, if anything has changed, like what he's talking about?
No, you're not as in tune with the plains. You spent most of your life as a city folk.
I mean, like about him. Like, is there something visibly changed about him or anything? Or
No, nothing visual seems to have changed. It's all kind of internal.
Okay.
I have a pretty high survival. Like, do I feel different?
No, This is more because of the way he's in tune with the plains. It's almost as if his favored terrain has suddenly become different than it used to be.
Interesting.
But as you're traveling, you guys will pass by a very small village that is now in ruins.
Was it on the maps?
It was not. It looks like somebody was kind of starting up like a couple of straw huts have been kind of set up, and it is burned. All the buildings are scorched. There are bodies strewn about outside of the buildings. There was some vegetation from point to point, and Cassius, as you look around, you'll see very clear prints of who's responsible. The prints that you are tracking lead right into this town.
Can I like kind of surmise where roughly on the map it would be? Just
Yeah.
to make like a quick note, like in case we have to come back
Absolutely.
here, or in case anybody has any information about this place.
There's not going to be any information. You can tell this is a very, very young settlement. So I'm not really gonna.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's not really much to do here as a landmark either. So
That's fine. I'm just gonna kind of mark it down on my map just in case anything comes up about it at some point.
these pop up from time to time. Somebody with just enough money decides like we don't have to live directly in the town anymore. We can live just outside of it. And so they set up their own little place.
This was after like 1 hour?
No, this has been a lot of hours of travel. You guys have been traveling for a while.
And it's been completely burned down already.
Yes.
So they were here a while ago, yeah.
So you'll notice, though, with that survival as well, you've traveled a lot more than you'd think that people on foot could have covered in 3 days. Like, it's still not as fast as carriage travel would have been. So you still feel like you're keeping ground, but you at this point feel like, you travel 3 times faster than regular people. You should be getting close to them. It's getting pretty late in the day.
I'll make sure to relay that information.
Especially if they stop to burn a village down.
Yeah.
Be on your guard at all times.
Perhaps you guys should detect magic on these footprints. Just double check that they're not fake.
I do so.
They are not magical.
There's no magic at foot here. Are we at all concerned with how they even knew about this emerald, or do you think it's dumb luck that they stumbled in there pretending to be military and acquiring
Could be they're working for the enemy. Could be the enemy knows that we're trying to find out information about them.
So you guys have traveled to about here, by the way, just so you know.
With
about
so many
27
people
miles out.
spying on us at all points.
Oh, so we're about 30 miles out?
Yeah,
roughly.
getting close.
Like, it really could be anyone who knows who's been selling info from us, who's been learning info on us.
Someone from
really,
Beowulf.
it could be anyone.
Oh, you are spirit sighting around the dead village.
Ah,
good call.
Maybe the ghost
Collect
has
some
the
ghosts.
answers.
You will collect. Let me see what the population of this village was.
Looks like they.
2,076.
It's a village. No, it is not 2,000.
So, Steve, it's been pretty much just a straight shot west, though, right? It's not
It has been
like
pretty much a straight shot west.
So it doesn't look like they might be heading to Beowulf then.
No.
Okay.
Now,
I don't
Jonica,
have anything mapped over there.
you not think it odd that whoever these people are they stopped to destroy an unmarked village? What's to be gained from doing that?
Jeez.
They came and stole an emerald that was potentially just to interfere with our plans. At this point, I think that these people could be working for the enemy.
I'm
If
not
what
sure.
we have heard of this enemy is true, then yes, ravaging innocent, unarmed people is probably something they would do.
Sphinx, you can gather up 24 spirits, by the way.
I'm not sure that they stopped to do it.
At the moment, I just really, really look forward to meeting these people.
Right.
And as I say that, like lightning kind of twitches through my fingers.
Also, we forgot to do your morning thing.
Oh yeah.
Pancakes with the
It's a bard ghost. It has all knowledges.
her pancake seance or whatever she does with the ghosts in the morning.
The pancake seance.
My point in bringing that up is, as Cassius mentioned, we should be closing in on them. Perhaps we should
have already been there.
That and also
geography this time, Sphinx. Geography.
Perhaps we
like
should
I said,
be
on your guard.
Yes, but perhaps we should be approaching stealthily instead of loudly in a cart.
I also have.
I don't
like ask any
and
of the
slow
spirits?
ourselves down. Even
we won't be able to keep up with them on foot.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to speak with the spirits? Let me double check something real quick.
Like, we don't actually know how close they are. We're just estimating, right? There were 3 days. We know it's like faster. We don't have any clue. Like, if we go on foot, we could just be still like 10 miles away.
Without weapons, who knows what sort of spells they could have to speed themselves.
Okay.
Well, can we not tell from the tracks how fast these people are moving? Like, if they're can you tell if it's like long strides, like they're running, or is it
their strides seem normal?
You can't really tell. Yeah, like you could tell if someone's running, but someone's not running. The more question is how fast are their walk, and you can't see that via footsteps.
All right, Sphinx, you want to speak with the dead that are here. They come buzzing around you. Those that are left? You see us? Wow. I thought. Excuse me. That's immersion running. I thought we would be stuck here forever. Are you looking for the bad men?
Yes. We need to find them.
They demanded our money, and when we would not pay up, they set us ablaze. Every last one of us. Those left moved on. Those that believed, I suppose, must have moved on. I don't see them anymore. But we left our homes because we didn't want to be tied to the beliefs of those from our home. Will you help us find a place to rest?
Of course.
Be weary of the robed one. He has fire that burns hotter than flames that I felt from anyone else. Ever. No one has ever lit a fire that burns as hot as he can expel. And it burns not only your skin, but your soul.
It's Ghost Rider. This isn't... it was the Spirit Mother that I was specifically able to hear before, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You can tell right now that Sphinx is talking to a spirit. Like, you recognize the behavior, and you feel like kind of like a shoulder or a hand on your shoulder as she's speaking with the spirits.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try to I guess I'll instinctively kind of do that then.
It's very warm as you do that. Like your shoulder is very warm, but it also has that feeling, the cold skin feeling, the nice kind of feeling, but with a bit of warmth to go along your fingertips.
Do you know where they went?
They continued. They were heading west. They
How long ago,
spoke of a town.
How long ago, Singsaur? That's more important.
It has only been a day, maybe less. Time feels different when you don't sleep and can't see the light.
At that, I'd like to try. Can I? This is the plains, right? There's no vegetation, or no major vegetation.
There's no major vegetation. There's the occasional tree, but
if I fly up in the air, can I look a lot farther west?
Yeah, probably.
Can I fly up and see if I see anybody yet?
Give me a perception.
Took this useless ass skill of flying. I need to make use of it somehow.
All right, you fly up and you get a look, and you can see you are not far from these people. Night is closing in. You figure if you continued traveling, you could probably reach them by midnight. You can see like there's like a patch of darkness on the amber plains ahead of you. Mm-hmm. It's very easy. Like from this height, they are literally the darkness in the night sky, or in the daylight sky.
Mm-hmm. They're close. We have to keep pressing on. Are there any other questions that you have for the Spirit Sphinx?
They'll go with her.
Oh, that's fair.
Did they say anything?
Do they have any other powers of note?
They all have something of fire. The big one, has a sword that burns with blackness. And the one that carries the daggers, they burn too, just like his eyes. His eyes, as he kills you, burn bright with dark fire.
I've heard of spells that could help deal with this. Tell me, Aravos, you keep wanting to make a case for yourself. Do you have anything of that sort?
Did Sphinx told us about this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What spell are you looking for?
Any way to give us resistance to energy?
That is not my realm of expertise.
Shit.
So, Sphinx, from that conversation, I want you to give me a... Do you have ranks in knowledge religion? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
No, and you don't have planes
either. I have a miscellaneous rank in that. I have miscellaneous rank.
Miscellaneous bonus to it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think from this, no.
I do have a very weak spell that would give.
Oh, yeah, from this.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I can do a judgment that'll give some resistance, but I can only share it with.
Does anybody have ranks in knowledge religion in the party?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a pair of knowledge religion checks from what she described? And what do you got, Cass?
I only remember seeing one of them die, right? Or
you watch all three of them die.
I did see all three.
Yes.
I couldn't remember. I remember one of them died right next to the altar,
yes.
or the thing the mummy came out of, and then the other guy just watched him die.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember if one of them ran off or not.
No, one of them tried to run off and was killed while he was trying to run off.
That's right.
Yep.
Just like I thought I was.
All right, Ra. So you can tell from what she talks about this black fire that burns down to the soul. These things have some touch of infernal magic. Whatever their blades are, whatever the spells are, something about them is tainted and profane.
Okay.
And this could make it very dangerous because it is very difficult to cure the inflictions of the profane.
I'll make sure to reiterate, especially to Mal, that I did watch them die, so
Okay.
whatever they are now, they're different. If it's the same people, which it seems like it is.
It would appear something brought them back.
Well,
Purpose of disrupting our scrying.
wish I could say I was surprised, because something brought me back, too.
Would I know if there's any, like, decent way to protect yourself from profane magic?
In order to wield profane magic, you know that you must be evil, inherently.
Okay.
So things that can protect you from evil effects can help in the protection against it.
Yeah, I've got a couple levels.
So
still
I'll
till I get
relay
mine.
that information to everyone, as well with the only things I can do that are helpful against evil is I do have protection from evil, but it's we've seen how that plays out and what its capabilities are with our old pal Arius, so we know what that.
So it's really good.
If
Made
you
a
don't
god
attack-
mad.
If you don't attack, it's really good.
So, like, if you're the party healer and you really don't want to randomly die to,
Yeah. So we could put it on like Sphinx, and as long as she only
Sounds good.
buffs and doesn't physically attack. She's
Did I mention that I have all these healing bullets?
The spell would also be quite needed on me afterwards.
But would it be able to protect you from yourself?
Excuse me?
Hmm?
Let's have this
What are-
discussion on the road. Oh,
Yeah.
back in the cart.
As we're hopping in the cart, Heracles has told me of Arius' fall and how the party had misjudged its abilities when rushing into combat. Should we be assessing our threats more appropriately here? They sound very powerful. Are we prepared for such a fight?
For once, I agree with you.
I mean, I will not
This is
hesitate
as we're
to-
moving, I would assume.
Mhm.
I would say I will not hesitate to do what I must do this time. Perhaps you will be more aggressive or more beneficial than Arius. He wasn't
Damn.
he wasn't the best set up for fighting. I think oftentimes it was just me and Zeke sometimes in the front line getting slaughtered.
I'll nod.
Unless they ran in on me.
Well, my spells prepared today are quite good for combat,
Okay.
so...
I will say at the very least that he did try to do the right thing.
I don't doubt Arius's actions. I was merely saying I think we are much stronger now than we were in the past, and I'm now resolved to stop hesitating
Do we
I mean,
want
I'm not
anything?
Not
and
gonna
we
hesitate
perhaps
to
could
join,
catch them by
but-
surprise. We know where they are. I've seen them. They're up ahead. They don't know that we're here yet.
Not gonna hesitate to join in, but definitely don't want to come back like one of those things.
Is there anything we'd like to do when you see them? AK out of character, I'm asking, do we want any, like, readied stuff? Like, do you want me to haste you all like, when we're in a certain
Oh,
augury?
When we're close, we will ask Sphinx to consult her spirits.
that
And
takes minutes,
if
right?
you
Yeah,
have
it
any
takes, like-
sorts of enhancements, then yes, please put them on us.
Yeah, he sounds great to me.
Well, my haste only lasts for
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
five what you would call rounds in a combat.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
So
It must
it
be right
lasts
before the
for
combat.
6 times 5 is 30 seconds.
so
that is
this
how you
must be
express
right before the. This must be done right as we know we are engaging the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sphinx, if you want it, I'll give you protection from evil as
There we
we
go.
get close. That'll at least, as long as you don't cast anything damaging on anyone, it'll keep them from being able to hit you if they are evil.
I'm going to vainly attempt to commune with the spirit mother, knowing that I can't really talk to her, but
No, but you can absolutely commune with her. Give me a knowledge religion, even if you are untrained in it. Or no, I'm sorry, in either a knowledge religion or a knowledge arcana.
is she a religious thing or is she more like a?
She kind of is in the realm of both. She exists to kind of guide spirits who've fallen into the ethereal realm.
Okay, so she doesn't lean one way or the other.
No.
Alright, I'll just do a religion
Okay.
and then...
Yeah. Sadly, you will not hear anything back from her.
Alright.
I heard someone mention the word augury. I've heard of this great power from being cast. Should we make use of this on our route there?
We're not close enough. I already said when we are approaching, we would use it.
Okay.
Out of character, how long does that take to cast?
It is 10 minutes to cast.
Okay. That's what I thought. I thought it was like a
Yeah.
chunk of time. So,
I presume these people cannot. They have to rest at some point if they're walking on foot. So
Yeah.
we will catch when we approach their campsite. We'll augury, and then we'll go in.
All right. So
can I make a...
Like DR to evil, so who wants to join me with that? So I can only share it with one.
I mean, I'm gonna be in the front line charging up if you want.
Alright.
About how far out were
So
they?
will Zeke, but Zeke already has DR.
they are a couple hours. They are a few hours out from where you
Okay,
are.
so I'm
Like I
able
said,
to-
you guys will meet them at about midnight.
Well, yeah, no, I'm able to like kind of estimate, even without having seen them, like how long it'll take.
Yeah. You actually.
Okay,
forgot.
I'll let Sphinx know when we're getting relatively close. Just so we're not like if we're approaching their campsite, I don't want to get caught off guard not
Right.
being able to augury.
Well, as you start closing in, I need everyone to give me a perception. Well, actually, I'll roll everybody's perception.
How long does augury last?
Half an hour.
30-minute windows.
It is a
usually.
30-minute window, so you'll activate it, and then you won't have a lot of time from there to do whatever you're going to do.
Okay.
So you can see their camp from a good ways off. Actually, it's super fucking dark. Well, you still see it because they have some measure of light that does exist.
I'm gonna try to give
Even
her
with their dark flame.
when we get like 2 hours out. I'll try to like update her every like 10 minutes or so,
Mhm.
roughly, to let her know.
Yeah, and you. Let me see one thing here. Oh, you guys are very lucky. Yeah, you have plenty of time to set up an augury and any other preparatory spells you would want.
And I'm gonna use my my trait to give 5 to the success of the roll of augury.
Yep. Give me the augury. Okay.
99.
Okay. Okay.
So, since I don't think it actually has to be done in combat, I'm going to do my judgment against these people, and I'm going to be using the resiliency.
Sorry, did I miss it? Did she actually cast augury at this point?
She is in the process of casting it.
Oh, did
You're
she
gonna
ask the
cast
question?
your resiliency? No, you guys haven't set the question, so actually this roll probably shouldn't count. Especially since this is a abysmal failure.
Hey, agree, it shouldn't count.
So, I asked
So
for it
completely
too soon, and I'll give you credit. I will credit you that the question was not asked.
No, I'm using my trait to get the 1% chance to invert the roll instead.
Good idea, Zeke.
So what do we wish to ask?
Yeah, because that is significantly important.
I'm looking at Mel.
I was just about to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And also, so all you know, I am going to start rolling the augury in secret, I think.
Yeah, I think that's more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I didn't know what a
Will-
99 meant anyways, so...
will we all survive this fight? That's the best way to do it, right? Because it's not just about killing them.
Well,
It's-
Wait, are you like posing this to us in character? Like you're like
Yeah.
musing over?
that means that if one of us... So the way that's worded, would that mean that if one of us were to die, then it would...
we would know
Okay.
ahead of time.
I'm not too
Basically.
experienced with this magic, but survive is a vague term.
I was about to say the same thing.
Perhaps
I didn't
we
know
could
if
be more
like the
specific.
augur would find it vague, but
Will any of us die in this encounter?
I think it's more straightforward. Yeah.
Even if they're like mind controlling us or taking us over, I presume you would still die first, right?
if we're coming back like that, I would think so.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them die with my own 2 eyes.
Okay. Yeah. Then I think I would word it like that.
Unless that vision I had was
Are we good?
false, but
Oh, you're rolling this one in secret? I thought that was the
We're
next
rolling
session.
this in secret. Are we good?
Oh, shit. I
And
think
don't
so.
forget my +5 to that roll.
I will not. I like how the 10 space had a nice big spin on it, just for added dramatic effect.
that only you could see.
All right. Well, the future is still unknown as the augury processes. But tell me, if you were to pursue the current course of action with the idea that you would be successful, what would you do?
Tell myself.
I should say without the knowledge that you would be successful, what would you do?
Well, we went
So I don't think actually... Are you aware of how this works, Bella?
Not super, no.
Okay, so there is a special rule I've produced for the augury and divination spells, where when you ask a specific question about something that is about to happen, you get the ability to kind of roll back if things don't go right. So the gods will kind of know what the likelihood of your success or failure is, based on what's happening. And it's a bit difficult to leave that to chance, and I feel like it can feel kind of stolen from you when you say, like, what are the chances we will beat this thing? And I come back and say, definitely, and then you get, like, ruffle stomped. Or vice versa, I say, like, you shouldn't have fought that, and in reality, like, looking back at it later on in a different combat that was similar, I'm like, oh, you guys would have totally wrecked that encounter, and I, like, basically steered you away. So what we do here is the next 30 minutes of time are treated as though the augury gave you back an answer of unknown, and you proceeded with the exact same course of action. Once that course of action, once that 30-minute timer ends, you're basically reverted back to you're either like stuck in a situation where you get the answer of yes, so you proceed with the action as it is, or you get a no and you can choose to change what you're going to do.
Okay.
So, is there stuff? What stuff do people want to get set up?
I'll be right back real fast.
Okay.
But, I will be doing my DR judgment against evil and sharing it with Matt.
How long does that last?
I'll be right back. Well, I'm gonna do my DR judgment, which basically is just a judgment on the foe, and it lasts until I either am not attacking these foes anymore or they're dead. Sharing the judgment I will do right at the beginning of combat, because it is right.
Got it.
I would be buffing myself, and on the knowledge that they reported that they looked human,
Well, 3 of them did.
they have like this infernal stuff, but I assume it doesn't give them extra vision abilities. Like what knowledge would this be, Steve?
This would be a knowledge religion.
Okay.
Or knowledge the planes. Either one of those is relevant.
That's it.
Oh, drat. I don't know nothing about the planes, but I know lots about the planes.
So, depending on how dark touched they are, it may be inferring upon them some form of dark sight. But you can't be entirely certain, because all you've got are kind of the spoken word. But you do know that the dark sight is something that they could have. And it could be like, and I don't mean dark vision, I mean like the ability to see beyond just traditional darkness.
Okay. Yeah. So even in magically produced darkness, they could see.
Potentially.
But
When you're asking what we're doing beforehand, how much time is this beforehand?
We're going to assume that there are 5... It will take you roughly 5 minutes to get to the camp.
Okay.
And you can decide if you want to do something sooner than that, or later than that. But if you do, they will get another perception check against each action the party takes.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure that my gun is loaded.
But at basically the 5 minutes away mark, they have not perceived you.
Okay, so what I would like to do is, as I'm getting closer, try and cast darkness. But you're saying that every time I cast something, they're going to get a check.
If you're within 5 minutes of the distance to them, they will get an additional check. Because if your darkness is a spell, correct, with a verbal component? Darkness itself has a verbal component, normally.
Yep, verbal, but not somatic.
Yeah.
I would let Mel know that perhaps we can coordinate, just so that, like, AKA they can have one check for us all casting, or no?
Yeah, I would like to give protection from evil to Sphinx, but it's a minute per level, so I can't do that at the 5 minute mark. It's gonna have to either be in the physical combat or like right before combat, ideally.
Well, you all will have the ability, regardless of where they perceive you, to have at least a round of doing stuff, because unless you're inside of the 5 minute mark and fail, right? You're going to have at least one round, regardless of what happens, to do whatever you're doing. So effectively, you have 2 rounds when you fuck up. The round that you fucked up, and the round that follows it.
Okay, yeah, I guess I would say,
unless you're close enough that you're within, like, range that they can just immediately get to you.
Right. I would say at about 3 minutes out, just to, like, have a little bit better chance of them not noticing us, we can do our spells. And then we could approach.
Okay. So everybody agrees at about the 3 minute mark. We can do one round of everybody doing their stuff. And I will have them check against the perception.
If I do my protection from evil at that point, that only gives Sphinx 2 minutes of actual combat with the protection.
Which is 20 rounds.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Okay, so then
People forget how fast combat is.
Yeah,
but
this is not second ed. This is 6-second rounds.
I would just suggest when we're all casting spells, I'm going to be casting invisibility, so when combat starts, stay together, I'm going to haste you all, so stay within 30 feet of each other for the first one.
We should be careful.
Okay, so anything you're casting at the 3 minute mark, go ahead and cast in chat now. Okay, so I got darkness, protection from evil, and invisibility. Got it. Okay, so they perceive. Okay. And you continue moving in.
I guess they probably got a bonus since we did it all at once. But
is there anything else you want to cast when you're at the 2 minute mark?
I could cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, that will give them another check.
I would.
I mean, I could. I don't have to.
I would say no.
Okay. At the 1 minute mark.
What's the time?
I'd say right as we're about to jump on them.
Duration is the time.
Oh, okay, there it is.
I'd say, like, right before we jump them, we can do one last round of buffs and then try and go in on them.
Okay.
Okay.
So you are within striking distance, and you're like, I'd say probably about. Well, what's the furthest dark vision everybody's got? 60.
I think mine's 60. Yeah.
Okay. No light vision. I don't know.
They put out a little bit of light, but it is a little bit hard to see them. So we will go over the lighting at another time, on another day, because we don't have time for this.
Oh, come on. We had a short session last week.
We're about to kill him in one round. What do you mean?
Yeah, we got him.
It's 9:30. No.
One single round and we down them all.
No.
Oh, what a cuck, Steve. You're cucking us good.
Come on. You know you owe us. You know you owe us the longer session this week.
It can't be done this week,
not your
unfortunately.
Oh.
You're going to lose your healer in like 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
We'll be fine.
Not to mention,
Actually not.
not to mention the most important part. There was a random chance that this happened. This was a like time situation, and I unfortunately forgot to roll it in advance, so I don't have the specs for this group, so we can't run this encounter yet.
Damn it, Steve.
I have not had a lot of time. This week has been like quite busy.
Oh, working a
I
full-time
probably-
job and running 3 games.
Yeah, and doing a part-time job.
And having a social life.
Yeah. But I will dish out some experience for this session.
And last?
Yes, they will be combined. For getting to Mukmak and making the discovery you did, everybody can go ahead and take 1,000 XP.
Woohoo!
That includes the tracking the group here. That includes roleplay.
Oh, that includes roleplay?
That includes roleplay. 1,000 total. And you guys should also have added in your additional XP bonuses from recap, so that would go on top of it. So 1,200 everybody except Spinks.
Oh.
At least I leveled. That's all that matters.
Cassius, how you feeling about losing those negative levels?
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah? Nothing about the ominousness making you feel a little worried?
I'm concerned about it, yes, but
Oh, Mal leveled as well? Damn. That's trouble. You weren't supposed to level, you were supposed to die.
well, we have to hold off.
Well, if I die, I go back anyways, so it doesn't matter, right?
Should I also roll my hit points then?
Yes, you should roll your hit points now.
Well, level
Guys,
you
we don't
reach
have combat.
6.
That's a reroll.
You guys hit 7 or?
Why do you keep rolling 3s? Stop that.
Yep.
Yeah, they hit 7.
Nice.
Oh, I am. Okay, there.
Oh.
There you
I
go.
didn't.
Ow, my hand.
So just take that.
Yep.
Damn, they're 7 and we're 5.
Actually, you take the 3. I just realized you're a D6, not a D8. So you would take the 3.
Oh,
Oof.
I think I should get bonus XP up to where I level also.
I think you should just stop talking now.
Jesus.
What, I only need like
now level 7.
4,000 more, so.
This
Yeah.
from the guy who can never seem to tabulate in his shirt hit points.
Well, that's all right, Steve. You can go ahead and give it to him now. It'll be 4 sessions before he levels up.
Are you leveled yet, Tom? Are you currently leveled to your current level?
Well, yeah, I haven't leveled in. I haven't hit level 7.
Yeah,
But-
he's $4,000 or $3,500.
But are you leveled?
He is
to
currently
the current
actually level 6. Yes.
If you're giving him 4,000 experience, I want 4,000 experience too, because that will also level me up.
I'm not just handing out 4,000 experience.
That's not what Sphinx told me.
I should be at level 7, right?
You should be at level 7. You will now have access to 4th level spells.
Yay! Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna scry on people.
What?
What? Did I say that out loud?
In fact, you could even potentially gain a spell that's on a current scroll held by somebody else.
True.
Now I can be the 4th person scrying on everyone?
It's 3 people scrying on the party, not on everyone.
And I guess I technically can't.
You could scry on the party if you want. It's just going to be really weird. You're on the cart and you're like, I want to see where the party is. Look, it's me. Looking at me.
But how far away is she looking at herself from?
I think it's like kind of just slightly above the ground view for scrying.
Oh, so no kind of real advantage whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's not like
The
oh, I
cool
can't
one is
fly.
if you're doing like clairvoyance and you choose like some number of miles ahead of you, and you
You're
go
just like-
like also in the air some distance, and then you can get a
zoom out.
terrain view. It's almost like it would be really useful for that kind of situation if somebody like would have thought about that.
Yeah, being able to scrying on yourself is not going to give you any kind of bonus. To seeing
Listen, I don't need to be called out
surroundings.
like that, alright?
I don't need to be called out like that.
That called out
Oh.
to you.
I wasn't calling anybody out. I was trying to find out if you used scrying on yourself, if you could see further than you normally be able to see.
Actually, technically, scrying does say you can observe a creature at any distance.
Oh, so you could like.
Oh no, I
do,
think
like,
they
a
just
bird's eye
mean
view.
you can be anywhere. How does it? Hold on.
Oh, like I could scry on somebody from wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
There's no like limit to the distance between me and them. That makes sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah, it doesn't say. You can see and hear the subject and surroundings approximately 10 feet in all directions of the subject. And it follows at a speed of 150 feet.
Oh, so we just have to go faster than 150 feet
Easy.
per round? Is that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we can do this, right? We're
Yeah.
monks.
I just got a new spell that moves for super fast.
I mean, if he casts, if he were to cast the Expeditious Retreat on the horses each day.
I can't, it's only on myself.
Oh, is it personal? That's right.
Yeah.
You could,
Of course.
if only you could
Turn
get that
myself
to,
forward.
if only you could get that to somebody who could craft magical arms or magical equipment that could go on the horses in the form of like shoes. If only,
so,
if
like-
there was a way that she could get that spell from you. If only somebody knew how to make scrolls or give her spellbook to them.
Well, apparently we don't like money to make items, so no.
I know what we could do.
Can't
We go
afford
back
it,
to that
sorry,
one
boys.
guy. That one guy can take the memory and then give it to Sphinx.
He doesn't share the memories, he just takes them.
Oh.
Is every character you make, John, like, obsessed with money?
No, that literally isn't part of my character at all. I was literally, I mean,
No, he's just obsessed with being evil this time, not money.
no, that's not evil to want to kill a creature for money. I mean, I don't know if I knew it was sentient. Maybe that would change things if I knew that. But
They are sentient, but
But I didn't get. I have enough roll to know that myself.
I think
so.
John did, though, if I remember right.
Yeah, he probably. I think
Yeah.
he got over 20.
I don't think that really changes what John would have done.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
no. That would have made me want to keep it alive more.
But yeah,
That
they
would've
I
made
didn't
his-
cast fireball on it. I cast web.
They have an
Come
int
on.
of 10.
Yeah, but if I would have known that, that would have made
I
me
stand
definitely
corrected.
believe
A
in
lesser
evil.
creature.
They could also see the evil in you.
I'm not evil. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, they were
You
doing
okay?
this with their hooves the whole time.
If I was evil, I would have cast a fireball on it. I literally webbed it.
No, if
You
you were
don't
chaotic,
have-
You would have, if you would have cast a fireball on it while it was webbed, you would have killed Pierre.
Yeah, if you were chaotic,
Damn.
you would have done that.
Cutting expenses. We don't need we don't need another guy on salary.
The horses don't listen to anyone in the party after that and just go running free.
That's what the
All the
communal
treasures
mounts are.
on that thing!
Someone has a communal mount spell, I think. That's what that would be for.
You don't have the card anymore either.
We would be able to... I'd kill those horses too. Web all the horses. They're going nowhere.
So, where would you like the burning hands on yourself?
I'm invisible right now. Good luck.
Alright. How salty is everybody that I'm wrapping this up right before we start a combat?
Wait, very
As
salty.
fuff AF.
I don't
But-
know. I'll suck my food
but-
later.
But Mal, you can't be salty. You got a level. You're getting a level before the combat.
What about the
I
rest
want
of
the
us?
thrill! I want the thrill!
Well,
The
actually,
combat hasn't been made. It
Oh,
would be balanced around his higher level.
actually, according to your rules, we can't level up unless we're in a safe place. So get fucked, you all.
Well, you guys would have, the two of them would have leveled up had we gotten to Muckmack like we were supposed to at the end of last week's session.
True.
So technically, they leveled up in Muckmack.
True.
Which means I could have scryed on them from Muckmack.
Oh, yeah, if you would've taken
Changes
scrying.
the game.
It would not have. You still would have just done this exact same thing.
Yeah, I rolled like ridiculous on my survival check to find the. Well, also it was super easy, so that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
We would have just been like, oh, they're far away out in the middle of the plains.
But we could have seen them burn that village down.
Yes, you actually would have seen them burn the village down.
That actually would have been interesting to see, but
No, because she had to rest beforehand, so you would not have. They burnt the village down in the previous evening.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I am looking forward to next week killing all of you.
Also, if it makes you feel any better, Steve, I'm not salty because of how salty they are.
I assure you, by the way, the encounter is still set to be the same level. But I wasn't sure if this encounter was going to happen or if it was going to be a different one. There were two ways that this could have gone based on some rolls. So, and I like that it came up this way.
We could have been best friends with them all.
Yes, best friends.
That's the alternate.
I don't think we worship that god.
We go up there with friendship in our hearts.
I mean, I'd be down with friendship if they just literally handed over the gem. They're just like, yeah, sorry, we didn't know it was yours. Here. All right. Actually, no, we know they murdered a whole village, so I don't think anyone wants to let them get off with that.
But you're evil. Do you even care?
Well, I don't, but I mean, you guys would obviously. So I'm not gonna be like, no, it's fine, guys, let them go.
Well, it all depends. I mean,
And they're not going to give us a gem anyway. So
they're not, but...
All right,
You're
well...
just going to give us their hearts.
I'm going to bring down the stream.
Friendship is magic.
Good night, everyone.
Friendship is magic. Friendship is magic. Friendship is magic.